everyone, welcome back to Shadow by SC, and today I'm discussing about racial discrimination at work. And the reason why I decided to bring up this topic is because I was watching TV on Thursday, King 5, and a majority of the people voted saying there has been a lot of discrimination at work, and 64% said yes, the other percentage said no. So I thought it's a good idea I bring up this topic to you guys. So I'm going to define racial discrimination. Racial discrimination refers to the practice of treating individuals differently because of their race or color. Treating people unequally because of their race, gender, religion, or color. Racial discrimination can happen also in hiring process. You apply for a job which you have experience and excellent qualifications, and the position you applied for instead is filled by less qualified people of a different race. It does happen. It does happen like that. Like, I remember one time I applied for a job in a position I have qualifications, in a position I had experience for, in a position I had done that job for more than 2 years. And we went to the interview process, and apparently the person who got the job, simply because she's from a different race, got the job with no experience, nothing. She didn't know anything about it, and she was trained from scratch because of that. And the reason why I didn't get the job is because these people thought that I have an accent. These people thought, my manager or the people who were doing the hiring process thought that the other person is better on phone more than me, because some people always do come out saying, oh, I barely understand you, simply because you have this accent. Then they make it beautiful, telling you, you got a beautiful accent, where did you get this one from? And one thing I always tell people, if you cannot say mtu mtikiti nyumba kasha ufa mahali kucheza, then we cannot be in the same page. I cannot change this beautiful accent of mine and trade it to something else. I've had experiences whereby a colleague called, or somebody calls from out, and when you answer the phone, you're like, okay, hi, this is Shuttle by Essie, how may I help you? And this person didn't even listen to you very well. This person didn't even give you time to talk. And this person goes, can I have somebody who can speak English? And you're like, which language am I speaking? Am I speaking Tumtikiti Nyumba Kasha Ufa Mahali Kucheza, or am I speaking English? If we cannot be in the same page with you, if you don't get to learn my history, if you don't get to learn my background, how can we be in the same page with you? Some people are just ignorant. They don't give people time. They don't want to listen to you. They just feel like they got the power. Another thing is pay, salary. You worked your way up, and another person with similar training and work experience was recently hired, and you find out that that person is paid more than you. It has happened to me too. Somebody else who has similar experience gets hired. When you come to realize that person is paid more than you, simply because you're an African with this beautiful accent, as they say, and they just decide, you know what, we're not going to pay her more than the other person. Yes, it has happened to me. It is time we stand up and speak up. It is time we just let your manager know that is not fair. It is time we stand up for ourselves. It has happened to me, and the reason why I'm putting this video out there, we need to start talking. Just sit down, check what is happening, let your manager know that you know what is going on. Another thing is job classification. You work at a company, your responsibilities have increased, but your job classification and pay remains stagnant. And your other colleague with the same job classification and pay adjustment to reflect their increased responsibilities. You find some colleagues are paid more than you, and they have increased your work, more than what you were doing before, and they don't add any salary increment. But you come to realize that the other colleague who has the same job classification as you, they've added their salary or wages. So this is something also which happens a lot at work, simply because maybe you're black, maybe you've got this accent, maybe you're from a different country, not this country, and they just discriminate you. Those are things which happen out there and people don't talk about it. It's time we stand up and talk about it. It's time we reach out to those people. You know, if you need somebody to talk to, this is a good discussion to discuss about our jobs. People are just dying in silence. People are just dying in pain. People are depressed and they can't be able to talk about it or speak for themselves. Let's bring it out there. Let's discuss about racial discrimination at work. I saw it on King 5 on Thursday when I was watching news. Most people are just ignorant. If you want to know about my culture, I can tell you about my culture. If you want to know about my history, I can tell you about my history. Don't just be ignorant about it. Majority of the people, the moment they say some stars, it's because they've seen them on TV, how African people are sleeping hungry, how African people are having drought, how African people are invaded with the locust. But they don't get to know the history of your country. They don't get to know the history of where you came from. And that's why they treat you differently. I'm not saying everybody is bad. Some people give you a job you cannot handle. Sometimes even threatening you, if you cannot do the job, you can get terminated. For instance, a good example also, if a colleague yells at you or use a tone which is not acceptable, you report to your boss, and the boss, you tell your boss severally, and the boss tells you to ignore him but does not take any action or disciplinary action to your coworker. That's a form of discrimination, because if you report, you keep on reporting and nothing is being done about it, it can be a form of discrimination. Bullying is a form of discrimination. Don't sit out there with stress. Don't sit out there thinking, if I report this, I'm going to be in trouble. Just report it. You need to work in a safe environment. You need to be at peace at work. You spend a lot of hours at work more than what you spend at home. We spend more than 8 hours at work. So you want to be in a cool, nice environment, working environment. So if these things are happening to you, just report it. Most states have agencies that enforce state laws against discrimination. If you feel you're being discriminated, you can Google and find out the state laws, then you can report. And also, if your organization has union, just find out whether your organization has union or your company has union, then also that's the best place also to report, because union protect the workers. So if you have union in your organization, you can also report to that. Another thing, also tell your boss, if your boss doesn't take any action, if you don't have union, maybe you can go talk to your HR and report what is happening to you. Don't die into silence. Don't go quiet and get depression. Don't get frustrated at work. We spend a lot of hours there. So look at all those channels and see your organization, which channels they use. But we still have agencies, we have state laws, you can report that too. And subscribe, like, comment. We want to have this discussion and talk about it, about discrimination. Let's get in there, talk about discrimination. Let's share. It is worldwide. We are seeing what is happening on TV with these killings, police brutality. We are seeing what is happening with rioting and protests regarding George Floyd. It's time we speak up for ourselves. It's not only happening from people in Africa, it is happening from people from Philippines, Mexico, any other person. Even here, America's, some people are being discriminated at their work. Let's stand up together and finish this racial discrimination. Let's stand up together and finish this discrimination happening at work. And just know I love you guys. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you.